Hello, everyone, and welcome to Week 4 of the NFL Pickems. Unfortunately, I was not able to make a video last week. It got a little bit busy, but I would like to say Week 2 then. If you take a look here, I went 8-8. Not the best week. Again, you want to be at least a couple of games above 500. And then last week, I went 9-7 in another chaotic week in the NFL with a lot of teams who we thought were going to win ends up losing, and teams that we thought were going to lose end up winning. So let's get ready to go look at the standings here as of right now. According to the standings here, I'm in first place right now with a record of 31-17. And tied for second, we have a five-way tie for second here, with everyone with a record of 27-21. So right now I have a 4-game lead on the next on the next 6. I gotta maintain that lead. I think the remainder of this year, in order to secure my chance of the prize at the end of the year. Then after that, we have T Sizzle who have 26-22, followed by the whole Peffin Show at 25-23, and Big Hoss, the Bird Picker, for 25-23. And then in 10th place, we have Big Boss Man with 22-26, and bringing up the rear, we have Donna's Visions at 20 wins and 28 losses. So we're going to get right into these pick'ems here for this week. And the first one we have is on Thursday Night Football. We have the Dallas Cowboys going to New York/New Jersey to play the Giants. Both teams, Giants getting their first win of the season against the Browns. Congrats to them. The Cowboys coming off a it was supposed to be a blowout, but then the Ravens kind of let them back in. Loss. I'm picking the Cowboys to win this one. I think the Cowboys know they're in big trouble right now. Need to make a statement to show that they are still a threat in the NFC. So I expect them to come out in this game, heavily target CeeDee Lamb, who has been very annoyed the last few games with lack of balls being thrown to him, lack of touchdowns, and lack of calls going his way. So I expect the Dallas Cowboys to heavily use him in this game, and I expect a slaughter for the Dallas Cowboys. So I expect the Cowboys to go win this game. Then we have the first Sunday 1 o'clock game. The Saints going to Atlanta. Saints putting up a good fight there against the Eagles, but the Eagles came out and win that very, very low scoring 15-12 game. But again, the defense for the Saints is no joke. They proved it the entire game, literally holding the Eagles until the fourth quarter. Saints made a lot of horrible calls in that game. I agree. I do think they should have not gone for it on fourth down on the one drive. They should have just got the field goal. And if they would have got that field goal, this game would have been tied going into overtime. So, with that stated, Kirk Cousins also coming up very short against the Chiefs in, I believe, a very controversial no call, which should have been pass interference. But, again, I'm not a Chiefs fan. I'm not arguing it. I'm going with the Saints to win this one. I still think the Saints are the better team on offense and defense. I expect a lot of heavy running here from Alvin Kamara, a lot of passing. Yeah, I expect the Saints to, since this is a division rival, I expect it to be very close for the most part, but I expect the Saints to open up the floodgates, as they say, and put the hurting on the Falcons here. Then we have the Los Angeles Rams going to Chicago to play the Chicago Bears. Bears coming off a very bad loss to the Colts, in which they technically had a shot there the entire game. It's just that the Colts had the right opportune times to score touchdowns and make the correct plays. The Rams pulling out an unexpected win against the Niners. I was not expecting the Niners to blow that game. They end up doing so. I do think the Rams are going to win this one, though. I do believe the Rams at least are more experienced right now than the Chicago Bears in terms of winning these games. Caleb Williams is going to have a not a good year for a rookie, but he's going to learn progressively throughout the year what he needs to do in order to win these games. I'm going with the Rams. If the Bears win this one, congrats on you, Bears, but I do not expect you guys to win this. I expect it to be close, though, with the Rams. And the one right now where it's a toss, for me, I'm still debating it. We have the Minnesota Vikings playing against the Green Bay Packers. This is one of those ones where I really don't know who's going to win. Sam Darnold looking like an MVP caliber player. Possibly we might have Jordan Love play this game. The rumor is he might be starting. My opinion, you don't bring him back too early, because if he re-injures that leg, you basically forfeited your season. In my opinion, I think the Vikings are going to win this game. I'm thinking the Vikings are going to win. Will I be surprised if the Packers win? It's in Lambeau. Not really. I'm not surprised. I won't be surprised. But as of right now, I'm putting this up for potential switch. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. I love what their defense has done. Sam Darnold looks to be comfortable under this offense. He's got Justin Jefferson there. As long as he gets weapons, his offense gets healthy very quickly here, this is a team that could be a potential playoff threat, and especially Super Bowl. Then we have the 1 o'clock game, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers going to the Indianapolis Colts. Pittsburgh coming off a very, very good game against the Los Angeles Chargers, only giving up 10 points. They are now the number one team on defense, giving up less than 7 or 8.9 points a game. It's unbelievable what they've done the first 3 weeks of the year, especially on the offense, where the offense seems as it's now starting to get going here. They're scoring more and more points. They got 2 touchdowns on offense this past week. This defense for the Colts is not good against the run. I expect a lot of run use. I know Najee and Jalen Warren were in injury reports this week. Tomlin did say Najee is going to play this weekend. More than likely, Jalen's going to play. They're just taking MRIs to be safe. And Cordell Patterson, still a very nice pickup. He's getting 8 yards a run. So I expect him to be ready to go. And I expect this to be a heavy run offense week. Maybe we finally get to see Najee get another touchdown. Maybe Jalen Warren gets a touchdown. I'm expecting the Steelers to win this one, and can't wait for them to can't wait for it to be, whenever it happens, for them to go 4-0 for the first time since 2020. Then we have the Denver Broncos going to New Jersey to play the Jets. The Jets is going to be very, very interesting. I like what I saw right now. They're 2-1 after that bad Week 1 loss to the Niners. It seems as though the offense is starting to click now with Rodgers. He's not as mobile as he used to be, but he's still mobile enough to get plays open, to get his players touches, and get into the end zone and win these games. Denver, coming off a very, very good win last week against the Tampa Bay Bucks. No one, as far as I know, saw that coming. The Tampa Bay Bucks looked as though they were not ready for that game. The Denver Broncos defense, as of right now, is not a joke in terms of the pass game. We'll wait and see this week. I don't trust Bo Nix in this game against a veteran Rodgers. I think Rodgers is going to be more than enough on the offensive side, and knowing this defense of the Broncos, he's going to see the gaps. He is potentially going to target Patrick Surtain at some point during this game to see if he still has it. But I expect the Jets to win this one, and I think it's going to be very close. I think Bo Nix is going to put up a fight near the end. Then we have the Philadelphia Eagles going to Tampa in a playoff rematch of last year. And this is very good. Both teams are 2-1. Baker coming off a horrible loss. Eagles coming off a very, very good win in New Orleans, coming back from literally down 3-0 the entire game until the fourth quarter. I think this is going to be very much a must-win for the Eagles, in my opinion. Eagles have to get the run game going. They have to get their run game going right off the start in order for them to get their pass game open. A.J. Brown's still going to be out for another 2 weeks from what they said. They need Saquon to go out there and run this ball down the Tampa Bay Bucks defense throats. I'm going with the Eagles in this one. I would not be shocked if Baker does it again. And for people who have fantasy right now, if you have Mike Evans, relax. I'm one of those people who have him. I expect him to have an okay game this week. He didn't get a lot of touches last week. Expect him to get some touches during this game. He's going to be wanting to get the ball against this defense. Then we have the surprisingly, which I'm laughing because it's a joke, Bengals 0-3 against the 1-2 Panthers. Andy Dalton playing against his former team, probably looking at them like, man, you guys have all these weapons and you have like arguably your best quarterback since me, and you're 0-3. what's your excuses? I really have no excuses for the Bengals at this point. I really don't know what's going on with them. Either they show up to play, or they're basically letting our team just bend them over and give it to them. The Commies winning that game, the Commanders winning that game last night or Monday night was unbelievable. I would assume the Bengals need to win this one. This is a do or die moment for the Bengals. You have to win this game to keep your playoff season alive. If the Panthers win it, okay, they're still 1-2. Or they'll be 2-1, 2-2. Then they're still arguably one of the worst teams in the league. I'm going with the Bengals. I expect a very, very PO'd offense coming out of the Bengals, and I expect a PO'd coach this week. And I expect them to run the ball heavy and pass the ball and give it a lot more emphasis on the defense to stop the pass game and the run game. I'm going with the Bengals to win. Then we have the 0-3 Jacksonville Jaguars going to the Houston Texans. Another division matchup. Jacksonville, surprisingly 0-3. I did not expect the Jacksonville Jaguars to be 0-3. I expected maybe to be 1-2 or 2-1 at this point in the season. Texans, 2-1. Get their butts handed to them by the Minnesota Vikings. I expect the Houston Texans to rebound this week. The Texans are good enough on defense. They have the weapons on the offense. They just played against a defense that was unbelievably good. And the offense for the Vikings was dominant as well. They don't have to worry about that much in the offense of the Jaguars. We saw it last night on Monday where they got utterly decimated and embarrassed on national television. Expect the Houston Texans to do the same thing again to the Jaguars, putting the Jaguars at 0-4. Then we have surprisingly, the 2-1 Commanders with a rookie quarterback going against the 1-2 Arizona Cardinals. I actually am surprised with Jalen. I'm actually happy for the Commanders that looks like they have found their quarterback of the future. I don't know how it's going to go this week for them. Right now, I'm leaning towards the Cardinals to win this matchup. I trust the Cardinals' weapons more on offense than I do the Commanders' defense against this team. They got more of a mobile. They both have mobile quarterbacks, so that's going to be a key factor in this. But I think it's going to come down to whose defense can stop who in the red zone and on third downs. This is going to be the very key matchup this week for the Cardinals. The Cardinals, I believe, have to win this game. They still have a shot at their division, considering that the Seahawks are 3-0. You have to keep pace with the Seahawks now at this point. But I'm going with the Cardinals right now, but this might be another game where I might switch to the Commanders pending injury reports when they come out. Then we have the New England Patriots going to the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers coming off a very, very bad loss to the Los Angeles Rams, blowing that game away when Juwan Jennings was having a career game out there. And the Patriots, they're at where think everyone thought they would be. They'll be near the bottom of their division. Not the best on offense. Still have maybe some great players on defense. They're just not the same Patriots of old. I'm going with the 49ers in this one. Even though the 49ers are very, very injury-riddled right now, they still have more weapons on offense and a better defense than the New England Patriots. And I expect them to have a rebound week. I'm going with the 49ers. Then we have the Cleveland Browns going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Both 1-2 teams. Both teams coming off losses. This is really much one of those, I think it's a coin toss. Do you expect Deshaun Watson to play better this week on offense than Gardner Minshew? I don't know. I'm right now leaning towards the Browns, but this is the third game that I might have to switch to the Raiders. I do have some games up on people, so I might have to take a couple of chances here. But I'm going with the Browns at this moment. I am more than likely probably going to make a switch here, but we'll wait and see. Then we have the last 4:25 game, which is probably going to be America's game of the week, the watch. The Kansas City Chiefs playing against the Los Angeles Chargers. Derwin James is not playing in this game due to the leading with the head against Pratt Fryermuth in the Steelers game last week. He's been suspended for this game. So a lot of fans across the league are saying, oh, the NFL is helping the Chiefs by suspending a player, yet they didn't suspend anyone on the Saints defense for literally taking out Devontae Smith and giving him a massive concussion. I'm not saying... I agree there should have been suspensions in that game, but I'm not trying to get into that whole thing. The Chiefs are 3-0 they're still a good team. Their offense, is it still like it was in the past? No. It looks like there's still some issues on that offense. Pacheco, gone for at least more than likely this entire year, which sucks for me in fantasy and everyone who has Pacheco because we thought he was going to be a monster this year. Monster up until he broke his leg. But we'll wait and see. Maybe he comes back near the end of the year for playoffs and get this team a better boost. Herbert, we really don't know. He re-injured that high ankle sprain he had from the Steelers game, so he might be questionable. I expect him to play, though, knowing him. But if I'm Harbaugh, if you start to see any sign of potential weakness in that ankle, don't risk it. Let him sit. Put in Easton and just take the L this week. More than likely, you're going to lose this game. If you win it, good on you. You got the Chiefs, but don't risk your season on one game. I'm going with the Chiefs to win this one. I think it's going to be close for the majority, but the Chiefs will end up winning somehow at the very end. Then we have the Sunday night matchup, which I am excited for. We have the Buffalo Bills going to the Baltimore Ravens. 3-0 Bills. Josh Allen looking like if not the MVP, one of the two MVPs in the conversation right now. Going against Lamar Jackson and his offense, looks like they got their rebound, they got their win that they needed, at least needed to get the boost going, get the morale up. Now hosting the Buffalo Bills. This is a very, very key game, I believe, for both quarterbacks. Josh Allen, for example, this is the litmus test for him. Can he beat this high-powered run offense that the Ravens have with Lamar, Justice Hill, and the monster himself, Derrick Henry? If they can outlast this offense with that run game, they are potentially ready for the Super Bowl if they can get past the Chiefs in the playoffs. And for Lamar, this is a must-win for them, in my opinion. If you go down 1-3 in the division, the AFC North, knowing the first half of the schedule for the Steelers, the Bengals might potentially rebound, and the Browns could maybe do something, you have to win this game. You have to make a statement in this game, Lamar, and win this for your team and for the league to know that the Ravens are still a threat in the AFC. As of right now, I have the Ravens, only for the fact that Lamar Jackson is always that threat in terms of he can run the ball. The defense for the Bills, this defense hasn't played a top-tier elite defense yet. The Ravens have okay to almost elite defense. They have some issues on the defense, I've noticed, but I expect them to be good enough to stop the pass game in the Bills. It's just a matter of then, can they stop James Cook and Josh Allen whenever they decide to run? I'm going with the Ravens right now. I want to see the injury report coming up to this game. I might switch to the Bills and just pray to God if something happens. Then we have two Monday night games again. We have the Tennessee Titans playing the Miami Dolphins. As of right now, Titans 0-3, not looking so good. Maybe this is more likely if they lose this game, they're going to pack it in and start to look at evaluating talent on this roster. Maybe make some trades to other teams who are willing to make trades and get some players out here for draft picks and stock up on the next couple of drafts. And then the Dolphins, at least got to wait 2 more weeks. You guys got to at least wait 2 more weeks until Tua clears the concussion protocol and is ready to come back. If they can get through this game, as far as I know they picked up Huntley and put him on the practice squad. I don't know if they elevated him yet to the main roster. If they do, and they have him as the starter, he is their best chance to win this game. My opinion. As an AFC North Steeler fan, Huntley was one of those players that I really liked when he was on the Ravens. He knew what he had to do in order to win the game, and he wouldn't try to force the game to be a loss on his end. If he could come in and help this offense for the Dolphins, they're good until Tua's ready to come back. As of right now, I'm going to go with the Dolphins, but I do see this as a potential upset alert. I do see this Titans team as the one who could upset the Dolphins. I'm just saying. Then we have a really good Monday night matchup. We have the undefeated Seattle Seahawks going to Detroit. Now, Detroit, coming off a nice rebound win for them after having that horrible Week 2 loss. They now have to defend their home turf against the undefeated Seahawks, who, just saying, folks, Seahawks haven't lost to Detroit since 2012, and that was with Russell Wilson. Now, you got Geno Smith, who seems to be clicking now with this offense in the last few years. He seems to be ready. This offense seems to be good. They didn't have their main rusher last week, but they had a decent backup. I expect Kenneth Walker, hopefully, to play this week. We'll wait and see. But as of right now, they have Detroit favored to win this matchup. But I think this is going to be a very, very good game. It's going to be very high scoring, I believe. Defenses are really good on both sides. It's a matter of whose offense can make the correct plays at the right time and not make any mistakes. I am right now going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to win this one, but I would not be surprised if the Detroit Lions pull off the upset here. So there you have it, folks. We have Week 4 picks in, and as of right now, the NFL season is unbelievable with what's going on through the first 3 weeks of the year. We'll see what happens in Week 4. I'm looking forward to it. I know you all are looking forward to it. We'll see you next time in Week 5 with predictions and results.